We're golden now. People can hear us. Where is Timmel? Timmel should be in Skype. I feel like I'm not present. Let's see. Thought I was going to take the night off. It is the Galaga King. There's Zazcag. Here, look, I'll say, is on. Come join. Okay. All right. How's it going? Well, where do I begin? Okay. I will wait for a couple people. What's up, Evo, Nike? No couch tonight. No. I just got this. So many things, so little time. First of all, I'm going to keep this to 30 minutes or less. They get their internet back? I know, huh? We got it back. My mic. Hello, John Brissy. What's the problem? It's got a hiss to it. Here, let me see if I can. All right, here, like I'll turn my cell phone off so that we don't get interfered. That's what it is. So I'm gonna. Okay. How about that? Is that better? Oh, I know what it is. There. Yep, it's when the antenna crosses the cable. That's what happens. What's up, Timmel? Timmel, you're not in Skype. I feel like I'm alone in the broadcast. What's up, Lady 1134? Ooh, that's like THX 1134. Lady X 1134? Yes, Timmel, it'll be 30 minutes. I'm going to be brief because I'm tired and there's so many things to do, and Twin Galaxies is like a never-ending, needy entity that needs everything. It needs everything. I told you last broadcast, people don't understand that Walter Day is only 16 years old. See, but he looks the way he does because Twin Galaxies sucked the life right out of him. But he's really only 16. He was like born in like 2000. And now Twin Galaxies is sucking the life out of me. But that's okay because I freely give it because it is great. Snowflake. I see Snowflake. Is that Hologram Girl? Hologram Girl is there. Mooner 420. So, oh yeah. TG Live is all about gaming. It's all about network gaming 24/7, I can assure you. Okay, so let me go over, for those of you who just joined the broadcast, what this is about. It's designed to be just a small family gathering around the campfire where we just talk a little bit about Twin Galaxies, community stuff, sort of talk about what's coming in the future and what we're working on and all that. So let's try to do that. And then I'll answer any questions and then I'll get out of your hair and not demand your time. So first thing is, let me jump on a couple things. All right. You will have noticed that the wall and the follower system finally has come online. In fact, let me sort of show that because it's important. let's go to Twin Galaxies. And we shall loggeth ineth as my favorite user. And let's take a look here. All right. So you notice I come in, my homepage now shows my wall. My wall is only going to show me updates from people that I have followed only. You can click over and see the news, which is from Twin Galaxies itself. And of course, the forum posts to keep up on the latest stuff like that and the score submissions. But now the wall is front and center. So if I wanted to add something to my wall, I could be like, this is a test. And then I could type something like la 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 or whatever, add it to my wall. And let's say I wanted to add a picture. If I want to add a picture, let me get a picture and put it on the, do I have a picture on the desktop already? Let's see. We probably do, I would guess. Anything?
Maybe my documents.
Nothing? Not a pic? Let me grab a picture. How about a picture of the greatest gamer of all time?
I'll picture me on there.
There we go. Yeah. All right, so we'll put the picture on the desktop. Okay. So let's go back to my wall update. So as you can see, you can also stretch it bigger. Oh, come on, computer, stop fighting me. So you can just grab this little thing and make it bigger. So I'm doing my wall update, la 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 la, and then I want to put the picture of the greatest gamer of all time. All I got to do is drag it over onto there. Boom. There is the picture. Here, let's go back to the full screen of this. Right? And then I post it. Bam. Okay. And this should not say attachment. That's one of the bugs we're working out. But the picture is actually there, as you can see. But it should just show the picture, but we're working on that. It might show it if I actually go to the entry. Right? Anyway, so when I enter that into my wall, anybody who's followed me, my entry will then show up on their wall. So everybody can kind of follow and keep each other updated, and you're only going to get the people you followed or are friends with. And that's it. So, and the way you follow is you can find people that you want to follow. Different ways to do it. Let's say we go to a forum post. We look at something that's sitting in adjudication, and Siliconian. So you could view Siliconian, right? But over in the corner here is there you go, is the follow button. So if I click follow, that's all I have to do is click it. It says you're following. Now every time he makes a wall update, it'll hit my wall. And you can also see how many follows and followers he has. I just followed him, so that number should go from 0, and it should get updated at some point when the database kicks it over. Okay. So the long and the short of that is your wall is actually a big front and center facing thing. The more followers that you have, the greater your opportunity is going to be to actually earn money off of your wall posts, because we're going to set it up so that sponsors can reach you that way, and then you can actually develop your own group around you and your player profile and what you're contributing. So whether it's, strategies or hints and tips or gossip or whatever, the wall now is a centralized piece, a way for you to share. And we've got some bugs to fix on it still, but they should be fixed within the next couple days. Pictures should be displaying, the Twitch embed should pop up, all that stuff is simple to fix. And so, but the main thing was getting this whole system built and working and integrated and the whole thing. Lots of work. That's what it is. It is important. The news, okay, well, that's a good question, Snowflake. About, is it important to just follow me for the big news, or will we put the news feed? Here's the difference. When we put stuff in the news feed, it will auto propagate out to Twitter and possibly Facebook. Some of that stuff is appropriate to do that with. There's other things that I might want to share that aren't appropriate to do that kind of broadcast with. So what I would suggest following either the profile Twin Galaxies or following my profile, because then when I do an update, you'll get on that. But they're not going to be the same. Can you follow a particular leaderboard? You can get a direct link to a leaderboard and be able to pull it up on one click, but you can't specifically follow a leaderboard, although that's something that we should add so that you get leaderboard updates whenever it changes in the notification system. But that's probably wave 2 of this. So, okay. So let us continue on here. I encourage you to build your followers, start following each other, and doing updates. You'll be building something there that will become valuable, and this is like your chance to be first in. It's like getting first in on Twitter or whatever, or YouTube when it was 1,000 years ago. We continue to do bug fixing. The messaging system is in and it works. The whole chat system, right? This has me listed as offline, but you can see people who are logged in. There's a chat room. If you click the chat rooms, you can go to the main chat, and there's always an ongoing conversation that's going in here. So this whole system is implemented and works, and it's good. And the chat system actually crosses over into the tournament area where IGB is taking place. So if I go over there, you can see that the chat system is still present, and you can, so once you're in Twin Galaxies, you're in Twin Galaxies. Okay. Let me move on because I promised only 30 minutes. The notification system, once these wall bugs are fixed, which will be the next couple of days, the notification system will finally get cleaned up. And all centralized and and everything that you should be notified on will hit one thing, and it will be good. Right now, there's all these different ways to check notifications. I'll show you what I mean. Right now, if you go to your profile, right? Let me close this. Your notifications. Looks like he maybe fixed it. It might be already being worked on. That's interesting. Normally there's other tabs that are showing different notifications. I want it all, basically this is how I want it to be. I'm not sure if they fixed it yet. But basically you click notifications, and every kind of notification is listed under there. And they're not broken into categories. Whether you were mentioned in a thread, whether you were, a vote got reversed or whatever, it's all just right here, so you can quickly track all of your activity. And you also will see that when you go back to your home page, down the side of your home page here are all your notifications. And so it should just be really easy to track all activity relating to you in one simple column, and that's what the notification stuff is. So that will be fixed, whatever's left there. And with those two things, with the wall and the notifications fixed, there's one simple bug relating to Twitch that we got to fix so that, because it's not, when you go to the front page, see if I can show you here. Here, you see how it shows the active streamers? There's actually way more active streamers right now, but the site's not propagating them up into here. And it relates to the caching system that we have. So we have to just go in and fix that, and then you'll see more of the active streamers popping up in here. And of course, when you stream, you'll immediately pop up. So that's sort of a small last little piece. We're hitting like the end of some of this stuff. Okay. So once all of those things are finished, I mean, we're pretty much left with, there's only two major systems that are left. One, the bounty system, and then the challenge system. But here I also want to tell you, we implemented game search. There's still a couple bugs for it. I saw your comments, Snowflake, so I'll read that in a second. I just want to show you the game search, if you guys haven't already messed with it. That was one of the complaints searching the database. So now when you go to the world rankings, you don't have to search just by platform first. You can search by game. So let's say you're looking for Pitfall, right? You start typing in Pitfall, and then it starts showing you all of the, I just typed in the word pit, so everything with the word pit in the database shows up. Now you'll see that there's duplicates, like here's Pit Fighter, Pit Fighter, Pit Fighter. It's because it's showing up in all these different platforms. We're going to get rid of the redundancy because it doesn't matter which one of these you click, it'll give you the same result. But let's just say I want to see Pitfall. So when I click Pitfall, what it then does is it shows me all of the platforms that Pitfall is on in our database. So then from there, you're like, oh, okay, Pitfall's on the Atari 400. So you click the Atari 400, and it automatically pulls up Pitfall for you in the search. You see? So now you can search by game, essentially. So, if you wanted to look up Zookeeper, you type in there's Zookeeper. So you click Zookeeper, boom, it shows you all the platforms that Zookeeper is on. So you can quickly see it's actually, on these. And then if you click the JRock, it will then pull up Zookeeper on the JRock, right? And you click that, and then boom, there's your rules, which we gotta. So, game search has been added, which is a good thing. And then also, if you saw here, Guinness World Record update. Okay, so some of you may have noticed that there's been some Guinness activity going on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you go to the platform, see, here's a big icon that says Guinness World Records. Okay, so Guinness World Records, you'll be hearing more announcements and stuff about this, but Guinness World Records, there's really two things going on with Twin Galaxies and Guinness World Records. But before I get to that, let me look at Snowflake's message. What's a recommended program for recording your world record performance? Oh, so it's based on what ZazCag. That really depends on what you're recording of. There's a lot of debate and heated, so Snowflake's a lot of debate and heated arguments on what's the right way to record. As you adjudicate more threads through, you get the idea of what people expect. VDA Monster. Hello. That's one reason why I haven't done any world record attempts. Once they come to a decision on what program can be used, I'll be ready. It depends on what there are different sort of themes. If you're submitting an arcade score, there's certain expectations for an arcade machine performance. If you're submitting a mobile phone score, there are some different expectations based on the adjudicating communities that live inside, that spend time on those platforms. I mean, ultimately, you should do your best to present evidence that you think is convincing that you accomplished a goal, and just present it. And just see if the system will let it move in. Submitting something in and not having it accepted, and unless you're actually caught cheating, there's nothing wrong with a score not being accepted because you didn't give enough information or something like that. That's fine. It's not a negative comment on you. But just try to present what you think makes the most sense. That's my recommendation. And don't fixate on one piece of software or one, anything like that. Just make the best case you can, and see if the adjudicating community agrees with the presentation as being sufficient evidence proving that your claim is valid. That's really it. Okay, so back to Guinness World Records. So there's two things with Guinness World Records. So I'm going to try to explain this. Hopefully Timmel is listening, because then he can re-explain it to anybody who has questions. One is, every year, Guinness World Records looks at the Twin Galaxies database, and then it decides what scores that Twin Galaxies is tracking, whoever's in the #1 position on those scores, which ones of those they're going to publish in their book. Okay, so we'll call that the traditional Twin Galaxies Guinness World Record relationship. Okay, so that still remains. However, the relationship is advanced further, and Guinness World Records wants to have a place on Twin Galaxies specifically. And so what we did was created the Guinness World Records platform, which is what you see here on the screen. And when you click that platform, what you see is specific challenges that Guinness World Records themselves have come up with and that they want to collect data on. And so you can specifically submit on those tracks. Now, these tracks have very specific rules for that track in terms of what platform, what the rules are, so you have to read them really carefully. So if you look at Minecraft Pocket Edition, right, we pull that up. There's general rules about how to submit on it, and then there's game-specific rules in terms, it'll tell you everything, what platforms are acceptable, everything as it relates to what Guinness is looking for the specific challenge that they've put forth. Now, you'll notice there's a timer at the top of this platform area that says Next Guinness World Records Certificate Snapshot, and it's counting downward. So what Guinness wants to do for this section is have periodic moments where they're going to take a snapshot of who's in the #1 position of the challenges they've issued. Those people in the #1 position at the time of snapshot will be issued a Guinness World Records certificate. Okay? So these snapshots are, so far, the way they're talking about it is monthly, taking these snapshots. Okay, boom, who's in #1 right now? And then those people get it. So, Jace, move the mic. I'm moving the mic. All right, hold on. Let me lower it. I'll lower it. There you go. Is that better? All right. Okay. Okay, so in any case, so what this means is basically like every month, it might even start to go faster, Guinness World Records will look at the Twin Galaxies database in its own platform, Guinness World Records, and then issue certificates for those challenges. Things that are outside of the Guinness World Records platform that's in the wider Twin Galaxies database will be issued once a year. They're right now currently snapshotting once a year. So both will be happening. Users will not be able to propose tracks for the Guinness World Record section. Right now, we haven't put in a limiter on that function.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But if you try to put a track in there, it'll immediately be deleted. So don't even try.
But can I just waste points that way?
You can, yeah, or you can just email me and tell me to delete your points. Either way.
Sweet.
But this is actually a very significant step for Twin Galaxies, because it's starting to really work closely with Guinness, and you're having, so not only is the user base able to create in wider Twin Galaxies tracks to be tracked that get snapshotted once a year, but then Guinness itself is creating tracks inside of its own platform on Twin Galaxies that's snapshotted once a month or so. And so you have a real opportunity to get a certificate that way. And the adjudication process is still the same as everything else in Twin Galaxies. So it's still adjudicated by the community. The evidence is still going to be there. Everything is the same that way. But it's very exciting. And once we finalize, we're still doing a little bit of testing. That's why these tracks are currently locked. You can't, if you try to click on them and submit, you'll see that the track is locked here. Once we're completely in order with Guinness, we'll unlock those tracks and we'll be off and going. And Guinness will very likely promote Twin Galaxies to its user base, which is very wide. They have 9 million people on their Facebook page and stuff like that. And so there's going to be a definite increase in activity at Twin Galaxies as this relates to the Guinness stuff. So I just wanted you to get the heads up on that. Let me take a look at the chat. No offense, but your website is terrible. I registered and verified my identity a month ago. Now I'm unable to log in because it says my username and password invalid, even though I only use one. I attempt to recover the password and it either tells me my email is not recognized or the CAPTCHA is wrong. I'm then directed to contact an admin, which does nothing. You need to hire better web designers. Well, Major Tokes, if we make the giant assumption that there has been no user error and somehow other people are able to register just fine, but there seems to be a problem with your process, all you really need to do to get it corrected is just send an email to contact@twingalaxies.com, and Franny will specifically look into why your account isn't working correctly. So I don't know if you've done that, but we're certainly happy to do that. So, not sure what the problem is there, but it's definitely solvable. You should please try to reach out to contact@twingalaxies.com and you will get the hookup. Are there plans to expand the list of titles in the Guinness World Record platform? Who decides the list? Yes. Well, first of all, Guinness World Records decides everything that goes into that platform category. And there are plans to extend the list. Right now, there's just a few in there because we're in a testing phase. And there's back-end stuff that's going on between Twin Galaxies and Guinness World Records to make sure that they can get the data and, they want to see what's the process of where do the rules go, yada, yada, yada. So we'll do a small run in the beginning, see how that goes, and if that works, then yes, it's going to probably expand rapidly because Twin Galaxies system is actually more robust than the previous system Guinness World Records had in terms of being able to add new things to it and process stuff. So they're actually very excited about it to be using it and to be partnered with us on it. So it's all very good. This is all good stuff. And it's good for the community, and there's other good stuff for the community that's coming, and I'm going to explain that too. In a nutshell, what does Twin Galaxies mean to you, and what should it mean to me and the population? In a nutshell. Here's what it means to me. Twin Galaxies means that the activity of playing video games and being involved with that culture does not only matter, but it is valuable. That the activity cumulatively is valuable to the people who are doing it. And so the rest of the world needs a way to understand that value and quantify that in terms they can understand or trade in So Twin Galaxies is sort of this umbrella hub over all video game players and types. As you know, in most video game communities, they're all very segmented. Oh, this is the Street Fighter community. Oh, that's the League of Legends community. They're all very segmented. And they recognize accomplishments within themselves, and which is great. And Twin Galaxies is not there to take any of that away. However, if you think of Harry Potter, where they have Hogwarts, right, where all the different types of wizards and magic takes place under this one roof, so that when you walk down the halls, you have different clans and different types of knowledge interacting. Twin Galaxies is like this big Hogwarts where, a top arcade video game player can walk down the halls and pass, a top H1Z1 player. Where else is that going to happen from a community perspective? Everybody is interested in achievement in video games, and we all can appreciate how hard it is to accomplish something in a video game because we're in it. So Twin Galaxies is really that authority looking at the whole competitive electronic gaming space and bringing all that talent under one sort of idea, and also making it so that that idea could be understood by people who aren't in it, who have no other avenue to explore that. So that's what it means. So, I mean, it means a lot of things to me. Sort of.
It's been more than 30 minutes.
You know what, Tim? Okay, you know what? I'm that's it. I'm out.
No.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'll try to hurry up. But someone asked me a loaded question, so I had to give a long answer.
Yep. Told you it's gonna happen.
Look. Here's some things to know. Twin Galaxies is virtually under attack every single day. There are people out there who are trying so hard to tear the website down, to ruin the experience for everybody, to make it so that you can't participate. I'm not kidding. So we actually have to work constantly to deal with those people who, for whatever reason, want to take away from you the existence or the ability for Twin Galaxies to perform its function for you. That's just who these people are, and that's what they want to do. Now, it's like, now they're not going to win because it's a long game, but just understand that, to me, that just represents the forces that are out there that want to tell you that what you do, your activity, your pastime, the thing that you're good at, that there's no good, and that they don't want you to celebrate it or have a place to be recognized. They don't want you to have that. So I'm on the other end, just trying to fight against those forces and to elevate and bring more opportunity. Guinness is now more involved, right? Like, these are things that amount to making what you've done more and more valuable over time. Hug says, how's it going with the bugs with the cancel feature and with that submission that slipped through to the that submission will get handled. We've just been dealing with the wall. That's all. Fell to low priority. But don't worry about that. The cancel feature, it works. There should not be any problems with it at this point whatsoever. If you click cancel, everybody gets notified. You get a certain amount of time to change your vote. If you change it, great. If you don't, too bad. But there's definitely, I think you get at minimum 5 days to recognize the notification that someone canceled it and either unvote or get out or change your vote. But it's serving its function, which is preventing new people from dogpiling on a preordained, canceled, or rejected or self-rejected submission. So no more going into the accept if you vote no or switch to no. No, it won't. That was, no, it's not going to go into the accepted. It can't anymore. It just can't. Justin D. Foss, why take it down? Why would there be a reason to do that? Some people just like to see the world burn. That's pretty much it. Some people just wanted the Twin Galaxies, even well before I came into the picture, has always had a fair amount of activity around it where people just want to hurt it. They just want to hurt it. It's an interesting phenomenon because all Twin Galaxies really ultimately has ever wanted to do is help and promote video game players. So it's not like Walter Day, ran around, cashing big checks to himself by somehow. It's like a good thing. But look, that's people just have their own interests. Some people just get off on trying to hurt something cool. That's what they want to do. What can you do? We will be getting our wrongfully. All of the points will get reversed properly or whatever on that thread. Hugged. Don't worry, that's not the first thread we've had to deal with in Twin Galaxies, so it'll get gotten to. Let's see. Just curious, how come there hasn't been a pinball tournament hosted on TG? All of the events have been video game related. I would love to participate in one if it's hosted. Well, in all of the tournament stuff that goes on is driven by Wes Copeland. So, and I know that he's building out the tournament site. The tournament site's really cool, and he's building it out further and further. And each tournament that he does is sort of testing new systems that he's building. Ultimately, he'd like to get it to the point where people can create their own tournaments on Twin Galaxies and have it all get tracked and worked, right? So it's just that. It's just we can only do so many things. That's all. Running a tournament is a whole thing unto itself. If I'm sure if someone wanted to manage and run a pinball tournament and contacted Wes and said, I'll do all of that legwork, can you set it up so that the tournament site can track the pinball? I'm sure he'd be interested in hearing that. So, for sure. So, okay. So, in any case, that's what's going on with the Guinness World Record stuff. Sort of lastly, and this is what I want you guys to really understand this, is I am the CEO of Echo Fox, which is an esports team franchise that Rick Fox started. I oversee a League of Legends team, a Call of Duty team, a Counter-Strike team, Street Fighter V player, and a Smash player, and we're building an H1Z1 team. And all of these are paid players. They're paid to play their game. Now, being in the middle of high-profile esports, I have relationships now with all of the other team owners of all the other major teams, whether it's Cloud9 or TSM or you name it. So I have visibility into all of what esports is doing, where the activity is, who's spending what, yada, yada, yada. Twin Galaxies is often brought up into the conversations by me because there are very specific things that Twin Galaxies can do for esports in general that's good for everyone. And at the most basic level, it comes down to this. If you are trying to build a team in any particular video game area, Twin Galaxies is a great way to vet and find new players because it can filter. A good example is what you're seeing is H1Z1. You have a series of leaderboards that have very specific performance challenges in H1Z1. How many people can you take out with a shotgun? How many people can you take out with an AR-15? And people have to submit their performance. It gets scrutinized by the adjudicating community, and then they get ranked. So you're actually distilling some of the best players in the world at Twin Galaxies. So if you're a team that's looking to recruit the top players in a game, you can actually look at the Twin Galaxies leaderboards and start to put a team together based on what you're seeing there. This is a new phenomenon. Prior to Twin Galaxies, there was no way to really do this just based on skill alone. The way recruitment takes place in esports typically is maybe someone has a really popular Twitch stream, right? And they seem to be good at the game. So people go, oh, a lot of people watch him and he seems to be good. Maybe we should recruit that person, right? But remember, that person spent a lot of time building up their stream, which takes time and energy. And that's time and energy that didn't go into being better at the game, right? Someone who's truly, truly, truly a master at a game, they've only focused all their energy on the game, not trying to build a stream, generally speaking. But how do you find that person? Okay, well then another thing is, well, you have a bunch of local tournaments that people compete in, and then you recruit the winners of those tournaments. Okay, that's great, but all you're ever getting are the people who can actually drive and make it to those tournaments. So again, you're not necessarily finding the best players in the world. There's just no easy way to do it until you start looking at Twin Galaxies as a drafting system. Suddenly, you don't have to wait for an entire game to develop a huge, giant community and a whole bunch of things, which takes years and years, and then go, oh, let's find who the established players are and then build a team. Now you can actually have new games that are coming out, and then you can set actual hurdles and jumps and performance measurement that's entirely based on skill here at Twin Galaxies and vet out. So what that means is the more the pro teams start looking to Twin Galaxies for recruitment, the more opportunities for all video game players, because eventually the teams are going to start getting into, well, maybe we should have an arcade team because it's all about events, right? Like if you're going to recruit a team, if there is a league for arcade game playing, where would you find those players? You go straight to Twin Galaxies and you start looking at the ranks, right? So it's just important, like, or there's this new Nintendo console that's coming out, right? The classic, the mini classic, that everybody's all getting excited about. Well, what if someone wants to create a league in Nintendo games just based on that mini console, the 30 games that are inside of it? How do you recruit and attract the top players and prove it if you're a pro level team? This is not like some little local tournament where you just throw up some prize money. These are pro level where you're paying someone $50,000 a year to sit there and play on a Nintendo. You need to know that that you're getting the best and that you're competing against the best. So in any case, a lot of work, a lot of conversation, a lot of thought is going into Twin Galaxies' active role in drafting, in vetting players, creating an opportunity for someone who doesn't necessarily want to be a big Twitch streamer. They just want to be good at their game. How do they get found? Well, now through Twin Galaxies, they can. Now that matters is look at the performance they did. That's how if you look at all pro sports, there's real ways for drafts to take place. In video games, it's not so much. How about if I hold it like this? Anyway, Timo, did that make sense? Reality check me. I can't hear you because I think you got muted, or did you mute yourself? Okay, what did you say, Timo? Can you repeat that? I hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't have regular power here. Yeah, that does make sense. So that leads me to another question. I know there's a lot of things to fix. I guess I'm more curious. When is it anywhere in the future, the leaderboards bug fixed for PSI, ESI, all that good stuff?
You got to remind me, what's the bug that's there currently?
Well, all our PSI, ESI updates on our personal profiles, on our forum posts, but then when you go to the member leaderboard,
it doesn't show. Okay, so yeah, that means that there are background services on the server that do that work, and obviously they have stalled out. It will be helpful if you send me an email or a note with that so that I can remember to get that restarted. But that's what that is.
Okay. I just figured it was kind of important, especially on what you just brought up. It's like, people
Yeah.
use Twin Galaxies as um, a way to promote and draft yourself, but you're not moving up the leaderboard themselves. When
Right.
these people look for somebody, they're not going to go through and look at everybody's profile.
Right. Right. Why is your power out? What happened?
Well, I'm building a new studio,
Okay.
so I still have the old studio, but I don't have electric power.
I
So I
see.
got generator.
Yes, but wait.
No,
you have
no,
you have Nintendo power.
I have some power. Yeah.
Now you're playing with power.
So
All right. So that's the basic update for the week. I have there's some work going into the video upload solution so that we are able to truly have people everywhere upload without a problem. It is a complex thing to solve, and it's a very expensive thing to solve, but I think I have a good line on how to solve it and make Twin Galaxies even better, especially on mobile. So fingers crossed there, and just know that I'm doing everything that I can to move Twin Galaxies forward, and I have not forgotten about things like, barcades and various locations that want to do events and performances and have that stuff register back into Twin Galaxies. It's like, it's just, man, like I said, this Twin Galaxies has this huge to-do list, but we're really, I mean, we've made a lot of progress, man. Like, Twin Galaxies currently offers like the most it ever has in the past, but I know it's not enough. So your patience is appreciated, and that's pretty much it. So I can stop now and at least say I didn't use up a whole hour, right? I didn't hit the hour mark. All right, perfect. So unless anybody has any last minute questions, I will give you 15 seconds to ask any last minute questions. I will get off this broadcast, and then you guys can enjoy the rest of your evening with magic and greatness. And please start updating your walls with cool info, because I'm telling you, first of all, I'll subscribe to you, but the more followers that you have, you will actually be able to have an opportunity to earn a couple bucks. So start building that up. Start following each other. How's my leg? I still can't run anything, but the pain is a lot less. My ruptured calf. Nothing worse than hearing your calf pop when you're pushing 400 pounds. It's the worst. I missed your Guinness World What was your Guinness World Record question, Snowflake? I want to answer you've asked some really good questions. What was it? So I can answer that, because I'm not trying to miss anybody's question. Often you give us the power to ignore rules we don't think matter, like no free play on arcade, for example. With Guinness, though, I'd imagine they don't want us ignoring rules, any rules, no matter how small, so I'd like to hear from you on that. I think that's a good point. I'm going to give you two answers, okay? One is the rules that Guinness has placed into the challenges that we post. They tend to be pretty darn specific, but not as specific as some of the stuff that Twin Galaxies has in some of its rule sets. I definitely think that we should treat the Guinness platform just as we treat all the other platforms. But you have to understand that Guinness has gone through they've taken a very, very close, extensive look at all of the adjudications that have been taking place on Twin Galaxies for over a year. and they came to the conclusion that it gets it right far, far, far more than it gets it wrong, and it was actually a better system than what they were using. So they're trusting the natural order that we're adjudicating as it is. I don't think we have to behave any differently for the Guinness World Record platform versus the other platform. I think we just have to look at things and really evaluate. Because remember, Guinness can also look at all the evidence themselves too, right along with you, right along with everybody. They created a profile. You should follow them. They created a profile on Twin Galaxies. So I don't know. I don't think we have to be super pedantic about the rules, but I think we need to just play it by ear. I think we just need to play it by ear. I really do believe the community has proven that collectively they can figure out some of the toughest types of adjudications, really. When I look back at all the different things, it really has. I mean, yeah, sometimes it can be contentious and people can be frustrated and stuff, but it works. You guys just use your expertise to bring what you can to the table, and I'm certain we will come up with the correct answer. That's what I would say. Can I spin the camera for a quick view of the studio? Don goes, no. There's a bunch of arcade machines over there, and I at some point I could do a whole video tour. I need to get like a Wi-Fi camera, and then we could walk the building or something. You know, but the camera's on a robot mount arm thing. That's why it's moving slowly. It's like this technology thing that cost. How much did that thing? I think it was like $3,000, $4,000. It makes me sad. I hope that answer was 50% satisfactory, Snowflake. 50%. Does anybody have any other questions before I get off this crazy technology broadcast of technology things? Has anybody got anything else? Because it's hard for me to just think of everything. There's so many different moving pieces all the time. I've been playing Nibbler, and so I'm better at nibbling. I saw that Dwayne Richard was trying to do a 1 billion point run. I tuned in for that. All right. See, I got a 50% satisfactory. That's not bad. If it was school grades, that's an F. But if it was, like you won $1 billion, but you're only allowed 50% of it, 500 million is not bad. What's up, Victory? What's up, Mr. Positive? Update on the Donkey Kong get-together. Oh, yes. That's a good one. So we've put together an entire presentation and production around the Donkey Kong get-together. And we're talking to all the various potential sponsors and people, because there's definite sponsor interest in doing this Donkey Kong thing. To give you an idea of how much it will cost, okay, to do the broadcast that we envision here and to do it right, I mean, you are talking, this is 6 figures to do it for one day. 6 figures. So, but it would easily be the best thing ever. In fact, just to do this broadcast, the budget will be bigger than the budget for the great movie Man vs. Snake. I mean, that's how big. But that's what it's going to take to, I think, to have all the top DK players here talking. We want to shoot a bunch of mini documentaries covering all the people who would be coming, and have there's a whole bunch of stuff to really make it into, sort of this epic event, and having a nice lead up and doing it up and treating treating arcade with the respect and size that it deserves, and keeping it on par, feeling-wise, with every other sort of esport that's going on. So, let's see. Not sure if you can talk about, but when's the final day for the H1Z1 Echo Fox stuff? Oh, it's going to go. We have some things to discuss soon, but it's going to go on for, you've got at least a couple months, month and a half, couple months at least, I think, to get in there and be recognized on the leaderboards. So, Crank, get on the leaderboards and show some stuff, please. Because I fully expect, this is going to be really cool. For those who don't know, like the people who are watching. So, Daybreak is having an H1Z1 invitational at TwitchCon in September, okay? They're only inviting certain people to come and play into this tournament, and there's like, I don't know, they'll probably have $100,000 or $200,000 worth of prize money in it or something like that. Now, they tended, if you look at their previous invitational, they tended to invite top Twitch streamers, right? Because they want the marketing push. They want to be able to reach as many people and show them the game as possible. But Daybreak has given Echo Fox 4 slots, reserved slots, that Echo Fox can put any players they want into the invitational. And that's a chance to win real money. So Echo Fox is using the Twin Galaxies leaderboards to find those 4 players. And so you can see all the top performers there, right? So what we fully expect is that when Echo Fox finally makes all of its choices, we will have filtered the top players, and then we will put these top players in with these top streamers or whoever else they've got invitationals, and you will see the dramatic difference between the process of screening for pro players and pulling them in, and then trying to do versus popular players that are just, I think the whole Echo Fox team will just destroy everybody else in the invitational. It won't even be close. And all you'll have left, because it's a free-for-all, is just the Echo Fox team killing each other, because it's all solo, but we'll have 4 players in it. We'll see what happens. But I really think that, I mean, if you see these scores that are coming into the leaderboards, I mean, the players are pretty amazing. And that will, I think, when people see how much the Echo Fox team crushes, the other teams are going to realize, holy crap, that's the way to find top players. That's the way to build a team, a winning team. We'll know going in. So, and all of that is where Twin Galaxies is the engine underneath this process. And yeah, it's doing it for H1Z1, but it can do it for a whole host of other games too. And then you get all the teams recruiting. And so now suddenly it matters what your PSI and ESI and all these things are on Twin Galaxies, because you can get in on one of these teams that'll be coming through. And we're having conversations with mobile. There's a lot of money and activity that's pouring into esports. I'm telling you. So, get your wall blog going. Get in there. Make sure you're a thing inside this system. We're working on making the system better and better and better. But I'm telling you, these things are coming. I'm not lying. So, hope that answered your question there. There's some dang good players and the leaders already. Definitely going to be cool to watch a person from the community have a chance to prove themselves. Yeah. They're going to crush. And watch, I'll be down there. I'll be talking so much smack. It'll be a big deal. I definitely have in my mind leagues for arcade, leagues for classics. There's all this confidential stuff, but trust me, these things are going to come to pass. So hear me now, because now is the time when it's easier to rise up in the community and in the environment. It's going to get harder and harder the greater the participation that starts showing up here. So I want all of the classic members, the long-term members of Twin Galaxies, to benefit from this growth. So I guess I will get off the camera now, and I've definitely hit my hour. So I have failed again and failed again. And that's it. Anybody else have any last questions? Or are we good to go? Timmel, you got anything for me? Anybody? No one? I don't know if he said anything. Nothing for me, Timmel?
Why do you ask that question? Do I have any more questions? I'm trying to get off. Oh, good night.
All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching and tuning in. I am out and out. Neo, please take me out.